as the moon moves into the new moon into Sagittarius, and we experience a solar eclipse in that house as well. So this is very exciting, and there are a lot of energies that I've been feeling and sensing, and I wanted to enable you and encourage you, beautiful tantric travelers, on this journey. We completed a healing cycle with a lunar eclipse a couple weeks ago, and now we are experiencing the solar eclipse. And what I'm really feeling right now for everyone is that as we approach this eclipse tomorrow on December the 4th, but whenever you watch this video, it can still resonate, because eclipses actually move through our lives in circuitous routes as we move through our own wheel of experience and healing here on Earth, and even, in and between other dimensions. So yes, so although, here in the third dimension, here on Earth, in this experience of the time-space continuum, we're looking at this eclipse as happening on December the 4th. What can really go down is that you're going to be feeling the influence as we move into the very important cycle beginning in 2022 and continuing with the new you as you kind of enter into the 22/0 numerological resonance of the Fool, the very first and last of the sacred journey that is expressed in the energetic templates that we experience and learn through the tarot. So I hope that made sense. That was a long introduction to just say, watch it now, watch it later. Come early, come often. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the feeling of the Sagittarian 4 legs and 2 arms. So you're working with 6 limbs right now as we go into this new moon in Sagittarius, with a highlight of the solar eclipse energy. And what the eclipse does, as this shadow moves across the sun, and then as the sun reemerges again from our view here on Earth, what this eclipse does for us, most people know it offers a reset. But in the approach to the eclipse, and in the shadow aspect of the eclipse, what that is really doing is allowing us to release a lot of egoic and mental and even behavioral energies or templates that are no longer serving us. And as we go into the reemergence of the solar light phase and experience the results of the eclipse after the fact in the weeks that follow, we're really starting to feel, receive, and use in our stabilized, with our 4 legs planted on the ground of the Sagittarian character, and our 2 arms free to aim and release our arrow in the direction that we want it to, our energy, our spiritual energy. This reemergence of light, this expansion of consciousness that occurs, is just such a powerful opportunity for us. And as we are experiencing this in the last week of December before 2022 rolls around, I think it's marvelous. And I know a lot of people are really taking on fuller and fuller responsibility for their own sovereignty and their own healing. And also in the approach to the eclipse, or the shadowing phase of the eclipse, I'm finding myself that it is much more of an inner experience, and I have in past eclipses, when I've looked back today and in the previous days to my experience of past eclipses, solar eclipses in particular, it was really about what was going on inside of me, and it wasn't anything personal for anyone else, but I really remember standing my ground and doing from a very instinctive, a very pure position, maybe of a soul position even, something that I had to do, and it was kind of unaffected or uninfluenced by the wants and needs of others, which doesn't always go over well. But usually people kind of get it because they're doing the same thing. The second part of this is that when we go into the lightening, the revelation, the reemergence of the solar energy phase, in the actual physical experience of the eclipse or the viewing of the eclipse, the feeling of it, the sensing of it, and in the weeks and months that follow, I find that we're going to be feeling more, perceiving and feeling more the effects of what we've released and what we are allowing space to come in. We're going to be feeling that and perceiving it more in the way it appears in the external world around us. So that's really beautiful. And it is kind of that fool's journey, this beautiful potential of the seed energy of 0, which the Fool carries, and also the master number of 22, which means that you've gone through all of these stages, both internally and externally. You've taken the 11 steps twice. So you're really mastering it. And it is also the 1111 resonance, which means that it's the mirror of yourself with your soul partners. So I hope all of this channeling is coming together in some semblance of sense. And now what I want to do is offer you a quick little update reading, just an instinctive channeling reading about, what encouragement you can take on and what things that your guides, your ancestors, and your highest self wish you to remember right now as we go into this eclipse and as we emerge from this eclipse. So I want to offer you 3 choices. The first one is this beautiful huichol hand-beaded moth. Very powerful when we're thinking about, going into a shadowy place like a cocoon and re-emerging in as a new manifestation of ourselves. And the second object is one of my favorite books right now. It might be showing up backwards, but it's The Art of War by Sun Tzu, or a conglomeration of authors who are called Sun Tzu, as I just learned. But very interesting, and it really mirrors the tarot a lot as far as illustrating energetic principles. And I love everything about it, actually. I'm learning a lot. And the third option will be this black pyramid, which really, calls to mind a lot of different resonances and places on and in this beautiful solar system of ours. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so yeah, those are the 3 choices. We've got the moth. Number 1, The Art of War. Número 2, y La Pirámide. Number 3,